Tasteful or distasteful? You tell me. We're heading down now on Stradomska to Kazimierz district. I'm not sure if this is serious or not. Let's stick to Stradomska. And if we do, it will lead us directly into the old Jewish quarter. Every year in July there is a festival of Jewish culture, so you might want to mark that out in your diary. And if you want to stay somewhere at a busy intersection of tram lines and roads, midpoint between Krakow's Old Town and Jewish district, you might want to try out the Apteker hostel. It's a bit of a hike from the train station though. Here on Józefa Dietler Street. Oh, what happened here? Hostel wars? Hard to tell. Got these nice cool arcade curves to the ceilings. Oh, lovely if we had more of these to walk around. Does remind me rather of walking around like a maniac in the Far East when it was sort of 30 degrees through the day. Long trousers, long shirt, silly hat, sunglasses, and no doubt people thinking I'd lost my mind. Well, definitely lost my way, but no, I got through it, but wasn't filming and I didn't have the YouTube channel thing to occupy me then either, which is a bit of a shame. Might have to go back one of these days and film it all for you and for me, for posterity. Banksy? Probably not. We've made it this far. And Stradomska, you may have noticed, has turned into Krakowska, leading down to Platzbolnica, the Kazimierz Town Hall Museum of Ethnography. Let's see if we can get another angle on this building. Might be a little bit tricky, you know. Three minstrels. What have we got here? An abandoned omnibusoof. Thought it might be a rail museum or tram museum. Don't think it is somehow. Here is the Judah food market. It's the mural which really caught my eye and is of interest to me. But you might be interested in some kosher street food, maybe? Presumably. Here we have the Galicia Jewish Museum. Galicia, a region which incorporated what today is part of Western Ukraine and south eastern Poland. Galicia, not to be confused with Galicia in northern Spain. It's spelled the same, slight difference in the pronunciation. And if you're interested in learning about Jewish culture in the region, here's one of the museums you might wish to pop into. This looks as though it lines up with the back of the old synagogue. Just walking down here on Dybor Street, turned onto Miodova Street and then left on Shiroka. Just seen a couple of Jewish Orthodox looking characters in all black and the ringlets of hair done by the front of each ear. Didn't film them out of respect, you know. Restaurant. Oh, the Remu Cemetery, founded probably in 1551, closed at the end of the 18th century. The cemetery is the resting place of Moses Isseries, known as Remu, who died in 1572, and Poland's largest grouping of coffer and stela tombs from the 16th to 18th century. I don't see an entrance gate to the Remu Cemetery, unfortunately. Perhaps this makes it more clear. Or perhaps not. The Remu Synagogue, built in 1558, repeatedly transformed, including thoroughly by Antoni Plushinsky in 1829. 1958-68, renovated following damage in the Second World War. Renaissance marred by reconstructions. The Torah Ark, post 1577, and stone money box from the second half of the 16th century, and sculpted door from the second half of the 18th century. Let's move back a bit. I don't know if you picked that up from our tour announcement, but apparently this Remu synagogue is the only one which actually is open for regular prayers. Sandwiched in between the restaurants and cafes, if you excuse the pun, it's a bookshop. Oh, and here's a map of the Galicia area. Makes me think of Fiddler on the Roof. This reminds me of a building in the centre of Lviv in a sort of back street. I'm curious whether it survived all the years later after I first saw it. Imbued with a message from the past, the historic monuments of generations of people remain to the present day as living witnesses of their age-old traditions. And almost right alongside, is the High Synagogue. Aha. And I mentioned that there's an annual Jewish culture festival in Krakow in July. This year it was in June, apparently. If you're interested for the future. And here's another option if you feel like eating outdoors in the summer in the Kazimierz neighborhood at Platz Izaka. Street food options, Ulica Izaka. And I think we're right next to a big synagogue. Cooper Synagogue. What you can see of it anyway. Synagogue is closed for visitors. Who's this? The silent waiter? Heard of a dumb waiter before. Why not come here for breakfast? It cost you in the region of £6 English money. If you're going to be waited on by this character, maybe the novelty will make it worth it. Here we are, Temple Synagogue. And depending on your preference for entertainment down here in Kazimierz, if you're not attending a recital of Jewish music, if you get a chance to hear a klezmer performance, I would definitely attend. Shell out the money, it's worth it, in my opinion. If you prefer opera, here we've got one of the opera houses in Krakow. I can't imagine this is the main one. I might be wrong. It's a rather bland exterior if it is, but that doesn't mean the quality of the singing and music isn't first class. Or alternatively, directly opposite, there's the Oliva pub. Darts machines, karaoke, something I don't understand in Polish, concerts, heavy metal, rock, snacks. What more do you need? This bench is looking quite inviting, actually. I don't normally say such things, but today I'm tempted. Ooh, gosh. Of course, it's not even remotely comfortable. Oh, the angle's all wrong. Maybe ergonomically sound, but not for my back. Or maybe I'm just being Mr. Grumpy again. Whew. Oh, hello, there's a little dog over there. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were watching. Got distracted. Where was I? That's right, we've come out of the Kazimierz district and... oh, there are two dogs. We've had a little walk around the old Jewish quarter of Krakow, and making my way back up towards the old town, I found this rather nice park area. Frankly, all around the outskirts of the old town, there's nice green park space. And nothing makes me happier than when I see there are two dogs enjoying the park as well. I just wish that little dog had brought a stick to me so I could throw it for him. Ticked off the list, even though I wasn't intending to do it. The temples, the synagogues I should say, in the Kazimierz district. Had a little walk around there, and now I'm just relaxing. I think it's time for a bit of tucker. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you feel like making a small contribution to keeping me going, please give the video a like and a subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, if that isn't asking too much. If it is, przepraszam. Forgive me. Next time, and we'll still be in Krakow.